We're in Blender. A to select everything, X to delete all of it, 7 to go to top view, and we're going to put in a torus. All right, hit tab so we can go into edit mode and turn on X-ray mode, and we're going to select half of this torus so that we can extend it out and make a chain link. And so that's really nice. But when we go to do our chain melting transition, we're going to need more geometry here. So right now this is just like these big open faces, and they're not going to mold, and they're not going to conform to our settings very nicely if there's not more faces here. So it's easy to do that. You hit Control R, and then I hit my mouse wheel to create more geometry here. This isn't going to be perfect, but it's going to really serve its purpose. Some mesh person, some modeler is gonna hate this the way I'm doing this, but it's going to exactly matter in the end for our purposes. So cool, we have one chain link, and it's got fairly decent topology for the things that we're going to do to it, and so that's nice. And I'm going to get out of my X-ray view, go make sure I'm in top view, get out of this, and make it smooth. We're going to make first hit subdivision, the surface modifier. We can go 2, and then we can just go to hit shade smooth. So we have a very smooth link. And then for our purposes, we're going to hit an array modifier. So now we have 2 links. We're going to kind of make it, actually no, I don't want to do the array modifier just yet. So tap, I want to go back into edit mode, A, select it all, Shift D, GX, or no, GY, no, yeah, ZX. And then RX90, no, RY90, no, one of these, RY90, nope, RS90, stay. Okay, there we go, and chain them. Now we hit our array, and push it in, boom, whoa, look at this. And look, now we have lots of chain links. The more of the count we do here, the more chain we get. That's good. We want that. Let's apply this. Let's apply that. Tab. Okay, we have all this stuff. I think it's all one piece of geometry. So hit tab, A, select everything, right click select, separate by loose parts, tab. So now everything is its own individual link. We're going to hit A, and we want the origin for each of these individual links to be in the center of its volume. So we're going to go to object, set origin, center mass volume, and you see now all of our links have their origin point right here in the center. RY, we're doing things, RZ, it's all in the center, and that's really nice for we're going to do next. So A, we're going to give this, we're going to right click and hit object, rigid body, active. Okay, now we're going to select everything, select this one last, and then object, rigid body, and we're going to hit copy from active. And then gravity, we're going to go to our gravity settings, somewhere over here, and we're going to put it at 0. Cool, that's good. And then we're going to do another thing here. We're going to go to, where is it, Command Shift A, and we're going to hit, we're going to add a force in here. As soon as I find it, force, and it's going to be a turbulent force. Cool. I don't think it really matters where we put it. It probably does, actually, but I'm going to put that here, set the settings up to 25, selected CX, lots of hitting G and X and Z and Y. So here we go. I wonder what happened. So everything, yeah, this is not what we want. So, a object, rigid body, let's remove, and let's go to object, to this one, and we're gonna add back in the rigid body. Let's go to geometry. Let's go to its shape, mesh. Okay, I think that's probably what we want. Select everything, and then select this little last object. Rigid body, copy from active. So look, I didn't even need to sit down and make a proper tutorial. I remembered how to do it. Now our chain is floating and it's cool. And it's not floating as cool as my original video, but you're going to have to mess with all the settings to get it to do that. Because I just don't want to do that in real time right now. So when you're doing this, come into this turbulence setting and mess with it more. Probably add noise to it somehow. Noise them out. Yep. Yeah. Come back and yeah. So we got our chain doing something. I would probably bake this. Start here and go to here. Okay. And then how do I go? So the reason I started my settings here, like if we were to come back and start at 0, like everything just looks very plain here. That's not very cool. But when we start our animation from here, it's already has all this, it's already starting out kind of dynamic. And that is just better, in my opinion. And so we're going to go into our scene. And then we're going to go into, we're going to go somewhere, rigid body world and cache. And we're going to go to bake all dynamics. Bake all dynamics. Delete bake. We're going to have the simulation. Simulation start at 1, 12, 3, and end at 414. 414. That's just how I want this animation to be. And then we're going to take all those dynamics, and I think it did it that fast. But my computer is a fast boy. And so, yeah, again, this doesn't look as cool as my original video, but it's going to get us there. So, all right, now we need to set up our scene and our material. So it's really easy. I have this thing called like Wonder Kit, and you should get it. You can come here to your HDRIs and just load one in. This one is a bathroom. This one's a kitchen. Let's just use the kitchen. Yeah. Boom. And we got sunlight, and we're gonna go to our film. We don't really want to see the kitchen, but we just want the light from the kitchen. So we go to our film settings, and we go to transparent. Boom. And we're gonna do this in EV because we want to be fast. We're gonna hit ambient occlusion. We're gonna hit bloom. And we're gonna hit screen burst. Screen blah blah blah. Refractions. Come here. Oops. Do that. Do these things that I'm doing here. You gotta watch it and slow it down, maybe. And do it. And do those settings that I just did. And select everything and make a new material and make it like this color, make it metallic and make it rough. And select everything and hit Command L and hit link materials. And now we have it all that one color and my yellow in it. Boom. All right. Hey, this is cool. Okay. Now we can come in here to I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. This one I needed black. Let's do this with turn our compositor always on, so compositing, use nodes. Maybe like alpha over. Maybe like plug this and then this into here and this black and then working. No. alpha of the vacuum. One of these is gonna work. Oh, there it is. Okay. So to do the things I just did. Background, shiny chain. Let's even do cooler things. Compositing. Let's get in glare node, and let's go to simple star. We're gonna be, oh my god, we're blinging it. We got the bling, we got the zling. What we need to do is we need to get our liquid metal transition going through this. And there are probably a few ways of doing that now. And I'm going to show you one of them. And so that way is using the to remember how I did this. I didn't do that. We're in Blender. We have our chain. Things are happening. Cube. And we're gonna give that cube some geometry nodes. All right. And we don't want the cube though. We want the collection. And boom. And we're gonna move this actually out of the collection into the assets. Boom, relative. And we're gonna get to the chain. That's what we want. And the chain's animating. And that's good. And the chain's subdivision on it. And that's good. It's still smooth. It's nice. And yep, it's doing stuff. This is good. And okay, we want to set position of this chain, and we want to do so using the this object. I'm going to move that down into assets, and I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to pin our geometry node setup so we can just keep it at the front. Grab this. I'm going to take this empty object. I'm going to take its location, and I'm going to use vector math to take the distance between the location of this empty object and our position of our chain. And I'm going to this vector math node, set it to multiply, boom, plug it in here, and then 3 there. My phone tells me that'd be good. Not good at tutorials. And for the sake of this, we're going to boom, twist all the time, and we're going to do map range. And we're going to use the vector which is doing this, but then we're up then to multiply, scale, multiply, and multiply. That's it. Vector math, multiply to a scale. Another vector math. Oh, go down to the left. Okay. And that goes into the noise texture. Sorry. Figuring out how I did this last time. And vector math here again. And multiply everything by normal. So maybe something's happening. This looks actually kind of sick already. We've done something. something's happening now. And we're sort of getting there. This probably also needs to be set to multiply. See what's happening here? It's sort of that I like. It's kind of happening. And we've done it using this setup here. It took way too long. I'm so sorry. I need to get better at tutorials, but do the things I just did. And look at this setup here. It's pretty easy geometry node setup here. There's also another thing I want to show you how to do. I'm really sorry again that was that stupid. Yeah, another thing that you can do, you can store. Let me do this all incorrectly too. But you can store a named attribute here, and I want this to just be like shader. I'm gonna use this for shader, and I think I want this. I want probably this. I need this attribute here, and I'm gonna store it as shader, and then we're also gonna set material. Then and to our metal material, and let's go to the get to that shader, however. And let me get that. Let me reference this that thing I just stored. Attribute. And it's gotta be shaden. SH shader. And I'm gonna just see what happens here. Put it in here. And so it's actually working. That's good. You can see how it's referencing this area that I have created in geometry nodes, inside of geometry nodes. Shoot, get rid of that. And now, let's go to geometry nodes. And so yeah, we basically are storing this empty position. We have created like a little orb around this empty, right? Using geometry nodes, essentially, because we have taken the location of it and we have compared it to the position of this chain. And then we have used some math to like create this little orb, essentially that exists around it. And then we are taking that orb and we are, throwing it into our shader, and we're now referencing it into our shader. So inside of shader nodes, we know the position of our empty, and the more we adjust these settings, it's gonna basically affect the same setting inside of our shader. And so using that's kind of how in the video I probably showed at the beginning of this tutorial, that's how I was able to get to that cool liquid metal transition. So it's in the center here, I used this attribute to tell our shader node to be orange and to have all of that glow. So I'm going to actually stop my tutorial right here because I feel like I've given you guys enough of the principle behind this. What we're basically doing, we've created our chain. We've referenced that chain inside of geometry nodes. We've stored some data inside of geometry nodes so that we can reference it inside of our shader nodes, which is really nice. And then we are taking that chain's geometry and we're taking the position of its geometry and we're offsetting it. And we're offsetting it based off of a noise texture mixed with the location data of this empty object. And you'll see that through the power of geometry nodes, you can use all this data and all this stuff to manipulate these things to do some pretty awesome stuff. It takes a lot of tinkering. It takes a lot of understanding. When I first started doing motion graphics, I didn't know anything really about math. But I wanted to excel. I wanted to make more cool things. And so I kind of had to like just piece together my knowledge. As you see, it's not the greatest, but once you start to understand some of these principles and how to apply them, and you can tinker with them in a short amount of time, you can create something pretty cool. You know, this isn't exactly like perfect yet, like the video I have shown, but with a little bit of adjusting, you know, maybe you can come into this noise texture, make it a 4D, and add some seam time to it. So now that noise texture is actually kind of animating, and I know that adds like a little bit more dynamic to it, maybe violetness, you know. And we can adjust like that fall off here probably, like maybe make it a little bit, yeah. Maybe make that fall off a little bit smoother so that it's not such an abrupt kind of change in our geometry. So this is probably actually pretty close to like what you know is in the tutorial. You know, bump up your detail maybe here. Oh man, it's nothing really worth. But yeah, here roughness. Yeah, the roughness is the up. Bump your detail up here. You can get more different look styles. Up to you. But geometry nodes are fun and they're cool. And this is kind of my first tutorial. So I hope you guys, were able to kind of hang out with me as I really hacked together this with a bit of that knowledge. So that's it. That's all.